All right, team, how we doing? This is Coach Dana Cavalea coming at you with the Becoming a Champion show, where we are all about inspiration, motivation, and encouragement to move you along your high performance journey. And today I have a very interesting show for you because I'm going to go against the grain. I love going against the grain because it gets some people really, really worked up, but it gives a lot of other people freedom and it gives a lot of other people excitement because they get to see a different way. They get to hear a different way of doing things and they get to learn a different way of doing things. You see, one thing I've learned through the years in watching different shows on television that have to do with motivation and excitement, or listening to certain podcasts or listening to certain speakers, is most of them say the same crap over and over and over again. And oftentimes the audience is left saying, I've heard that before. I appreciate the way in which they've said that, but what do I do now? And I don't want to leave you in that position. I don't want to leave you with a, what do I do now? I want to leave you with something that says, hey, I'm going to take action today. See, when I coach people, it's all about the action that we could take today, not tomorrow. It's not about theory. It's not just a story that sounds nice and gets you excited, but it's an actual action plan that you could take into your day to day so that you can elevate your game, elevate your life, elevate your results. And for some people to break out of that feeling that you have of frustration, of maybe anxiety, of lacking happiness, of lacking joy, or not feeling productive, or feeling like a loser. I want to break that pattern. We got to break the pattern. But first, I want to talk about what causes that pattern. And what I find for many, a big cause of stress and distress and frustration is this: it's setting goals. Setting goals. Tell me a motivational speaker, a leadership speaker that you've ever heard that tells you to set goals. They all tell you to set goals, right? We got to have goals. We have to have goals. But what if I told you goals are also the number one reason why many people feel stress, distress, frustration, and just an overall sense of uneasiness and comfort in their life? Goals. Goals. So am I going to tell you today to not set goals? No, I'm not going to say that. But what I am going to say is, don't make your goals so important. Make yourself important. Make those around you important. Those that matter the most to you important. Make your process very important. And you know what will happen over time? The goals that you wrote won't matter because you'll surpass them. I prefer to goals rather than writing your goals. What is your vision? What is it that you want to do? Who is it that you want to become? What is it that you want your family and people around you to experience? What is it that you want those you lead to feel from you? What is it that you want for them? Create a vision. The vision is about what we are going to build, either individually or collectively. So let's focus first on vision. But I want to go back a half step and talk about your goals. Because here's the thing with goals. Here's why people get so crazy with goals, because they put crazy timelines to them. So you hear a lot about, you got to have goals and you got to have a timeline to go with it. But when you take goals and a timeline, and the timeline is unrealistic for the goals in which you set, you will almost always have failure through frustration. You'll almost always fail because we hear so much about goals, but nobody really educates us on timeline. Timeline is very important. And here's the thing: nobody could really teach you about timeline because timeline is sort of that magic time. There are certain things in our life, if you look back, that we were able to achieve very quickly. Certain things took a lot of time. And when you look at those things that took a lot of time and you try to say, it doesn't look like it should take that much time, it does. And you look at those things that happen really quickly, and sometimes we think those should be the things that take a lot of time, and they don't. I'm going to give you an example. You know, when I was a high school kid, I always wanted to play for the New York Yankees. That was my goal. I realized very quickly I didn't have the talent to do so. So I went to the University of South Florida. I studied sports medicine, and I said, I want to be a coach with the Yankees. I want to be the head strength coach with the New York Yankees. That's my new goal. Here I am, 18 years old, left my family for the first time. I'm a student at the University of South Florida in Tampa. I find out the New York Yankees are coming to town in February, right? So I drive my car up to the stadium where the Yankees are playing, and I'm a huge fan of the organization. It's something I always wanted to be a part of, that organization. And so I pull up, I park a mile and a half away from the stadium that day because I couldn't afford parking. My job prior to was interning with the University of South Florida football team and also working at Busch Gardens. I was the guy on the back of the tram welcoming people to the park. Go figure. So here I am. I decide Yankees are in town, spring training. I drive my car up. I park a mile and a half away. I walk up to this fence, right? The fence where on the other side of the fence, the players were playing catch. They were stretching. They were doing all their stuff. And I'm taking pictures through this chain link fence with a flip phone. Pop, 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 sending all those pictures back home to my friends and family in New York. Literally that day, I drive back to my internship at the University of South Florida, and I get called into the head strength coach's office, Ron McKeefrey. And he says, Dana, could I talk to you? I said, yeah, Coach Mac, what's going on? And he said, listen, I just got a call from the New York Yankees head strength coach. He wants you to come over. He's really looking for some people to come over and help, basically hand down towels, clean the weight room, and hand out waters to the guys. Would you have any interest in that? And I said, absolutely, 100% I would. So the next day, I drive up to the stadium. This time I parked nice and close. I had my own spot reserved for me, which was amazing. I walk right into the main office. They say, are you Dana Cavalea? I said, yeah. He said, come with me. And they threw a credential around my neck that said C for clubhouse, F for field access, threw me in Yankee gear. And next thing you know, that same field I was taking pictures of a day earlier on the other side of the fence, I was now on that field with the guys. In a 24-hour or less period of time, my life had changed dramatically. I went from one side of the fence to the other. There is no way that I could have created that timeline and scripted that story. But if I put the pressure on myself to meet that timeline, there's no way I would have met it. Fast forward a year, 2 years later, here I am working for free for 2 years. I get hired that third year as an assistant. And the guy in front of me just signs a 3-year deal. About a month and a half into the season, we have a rash of injuries. The guy in front of me gets let go. He gets fired. And I get an amazing opportunity from Brian Cashman, who I'm forever grateful for, the general manager of the New York Yankees, and said, Dana, I want to bring you on as the interim head strength coach. Would you have desire to do that? And I said, oh, yeah, absolutely. We were in his suite in Texas, and he invited me to have that opportunity. And at the time, I was 22 years old, and it was an amazing opportunity to lead the New York Yankees as their head strength coach, head of performance. How could I have planned that? How on my timeline and in my goals could I have planned that? I couldn't. But you know what I did? I set a vision earlier that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be the head performance coach of the New York Yankees once I realized that I couldn't make it as a player. So my life changed dramatically in a very short period of time, but it happened because I set a vision. It also happened because I had a very pure energy that was filled with excitement and passion, and I was willing to do whatever it took to achieve my dream, which was really my vision. I didn't have a goal and that said, I need to do this by this time, or, oh man, I'm 19, I'm getting old. I'm 23, I'm getting old. If I don't do this by this time, I'm a failure. If I don't do this by this time, I'm a loser. I didn't go through that mindset. I had a singular mindset, and the mindset was give your all, followed by be your best, followed by bring a crazy amount of enthusiasm and excitement and energy. When I walked, it was with a cadence. It was with a pace. I was standing up tall, strong, bold in who I was, even if I didn't know much at the time. That's what I was doing. So it's very important that you do the same. Set a vision for yourself. Set a vision for what it is that you want to do this year as a leader, as a CEO, as a founder, as a coach, as a manager, whatever your position is in life right now, as a salesperson. Set a vision for what you want to do this year. And when you set a vision for what you want to do this year, some great things can happen. But you got to have a process that goes alongside your vision. And the process has to be custom. It has to be built for you. It has to consider you. If you're in sales, you can't just take a course on sales and all of a sudden you're going to sell like those people, because that system doesn't match you. If you're not a cold call guy or gal, how's that going to fit you? If you're reading a book on leadership and it's promoting principles that you don't necessarily agree with or align with, how is that going to help you? You're not going to own that. If you see a business opportunity that has a good cash flow and a good ROI, but you're not passionate about the business, how are you going to lead that, run that? Not a good idea. Our process has to be proprietary to us. When I coach people, I work my butt off to help create a personalized process for success for them. It's got to be personal. You got to meet people right where they are and help them build a personal plan so that they can have the greatest level of success and that they can own it. You see, there's people that have a flicker of success, but those are often the people that are not engaging in a plan that's personalized, customized, and built for them. Your plan has to be personalized and customized to you for you to have success. So when you have a vision with a personal, customized plan that's aligned and built for you and suited for your life and your lifestyle, and you combine that with a high level of daily execution, enthusiasm, excitement, and passion, you got a great chance to win. And so the lesson is simple. Set a vision, develop either on your own if you can, most people can't, or with somebody, a coach. I know somebody that can help you develop a personal plan and process. And then you got one thing to do. Execute that plan with excitement, enthusiasm, and passion every single day. And the results will take care of itself. See, people walk around today with such crappy energy that when you have good energy, you stand out. When you have great energy, you have a boldness to you. You become a magnet. You attract opportunity. People feel that energy coming off of you. That's the whole idea. That's what I want for you. That's what today's episode is about. It's about you achieving through your own vision, through your own personalized plan, something that you could own and be aligned to. And when you do that, amazing things are going to happen for you because you're going to work with passion and enthusiasm. Every day, you're going to get up excited to hit that plan. Hit it, hit it, hit it. And that's how you win. That's how winners win. I don't know if you've ever heard the saying that winners win. Winners win. Well, you want to know why winners win? Because they work in alignment. They're doing the things that matter to them. They feel attached to their plan and process that they execute every day. And as a result, they can execute with enthusiasm, excitement, and passion. And the results just start coming. They don't have a secret formula of marketing and a secret, really any sort of secrets. Maybe the biggest secret is they do what they're passionate about. And that they do is actually their process and their plan. So you got to get a process. You got to get a plan. You got to cast and set a vision. And you got to work with excitement, enthusiasm, and passion. And if you can do that, amazing things are going to happen for you. I promise that. I promise, I promise, I promise. And you know what word I didn't mention? The word timeline. Because those things are going to happen to you on the timeline in which they are supposed to happen to you, for you. That's what you got to remember. See, there's a lot of talk about goals, but there's not a lot of talk about timeline. So when we're left to our own devices to create a timeline, we put very, very, very unrealistic timelines to our goals. That's why I'm saying to you, set a vision. Get your individualized process. That process will yield you results, and it'll yield you more results when that process is custom to you and you're able to execute with that passion, enthusiasm, fire, juice every single day. And the more fire, the more passion, the more enthusiasm that you have for your process, the faster your timeline is going to be, believe it or not. That's my message for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Becoming a Champion show. And if you did, give us a review on iTunes. Help me, help you as a team build this thing, this team of champions. Give us 5 stars if you liked it. And share with your friends, share with your coworkers, share with your leadership. And I'm excited to be back with you all next week, but I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. This is Coach Dana Cavalea. See ya.